everyone, it's Mara and it's Sharing Wellness Promoting Health Wednesday. And I know it's been a while. The last couple months for me have been pretty stressful, pretty traumatic. At the end of August, I was hiking and fell coming down a mountain after seeing a waterfall and broke my ankle. About 2 weeks after that, I got COVID and had a severe case and was hospitalized, and I had been recuperating, so I'm back, and we'll be starting the Sunshine Hours. This will be my only one for November because of Thanksgiving, and then I'll be back with a couple of them in December. So tonight I'm going to share with you information from last month's newsletter on urinary health from Stephen Horn. Our urinary system is actually one of the it's a very critical system, and often it's very overlooked. And it's one of our needed systems for overall health because it has our urinary system filters our acid waste from our metabolism. It helps our body eliminate toxins. It maintains fluid and mineral balance. It helps regulate blood pressure, and it helps produce vitamin D and red blood cells. When we look at TCM, the urinary system is the water element, and it's thought of as the foundation of life. So it houses the Jing, or life essence, which determines our actual lifespan according to TCM. It helps prevent premature aging, and it helps to build our bones and maintain a healthy structural system. pH is also important because our body fluids, our blood and lymph, try to maintain a slightly alkaline balance. And our body does that because acid is actually generated when we remove and process our food for energy. So all this acid that's produced by the body is filtered by our kidneys. So in order for our kidneys to do that properly, they need to have an adequate supply of water. And if it doesn't, then it's going to have to look for minerals in the body like calcium, magnesium, potassium to buffer this acid. And then that depletes the minerals our body need, weakening our structural system. So there's some warning signs you can be on the lookout for your urinary system, like swelling in your feet or your hands. If your tongue feels swollen or damp, a lot of times you'll have frequent back pain. You'll feel sluggish in the afternoon. You'll notice some swelling under your eyes. You may go to the bathroom and you not have really scant urination, or you can have frequent urination or burning or painful urination. So if you're feeling that you're over-acidic, you want to make sure that you're drinking more water and avoid things that are acid producers like soda and coffee. You may also want to eat smaller amounts of animal proteins, eating more vegetables and fruits. And you can have some black cherry juice or nettle leaf to help you. If you are suffering with certain urinary system concerns like water retention or swelling, you want to make sure that you get with the doctor or something, because it can be a sign of serious problems with your heart. So it's important to go to the doctor and make sure that everything's okay. And then there's diuretics, herbal diuretics that you can take, as well as prescription diuretics. And many of these diuretic herbs supply potassium with the body. So when we think of herbal diuretics, they work because they provide a slight irritation to the kidneys, which causes you to urinate, produce more urine, and therefore a temporary boost are not to be used all the time. So we're looking at juniper berry, bushu, uva ursi, and parsley. If you want to improve your urinary function without irritating the kidneys for long-term use, you may want to look at nettle leaf, dandelion leaf and root, morinda, corn silk, cleavers. And to help decrease this congestion, you may want to mix a half teaspoon of those herbs in a quart of water and sip them throughout the day. One of my favorite things is when I was in natural health school, one of the guys said that our kidneys really like asparagus root, and he said to take asparagus and chop it in like 1-inch pieces and put it in a gallon of water and boil it and let it simmer, and then drink the asparagus juice created and eat the asparagus. So, you know, I've done that before, and the juice is delicious. It's kind of sweet. And you can make a tea with nettle leaf or dandelion leaf, cleavers, and peppermint. All those herbs, or one of those herbs. And there's a lot of teas on the market that have nettle, dandelion, peppermint, and cleavers in them. And you know, I love to use a chi machine because it moves the body, promoting circulation and lymphatic movement. And sometimes when we're not feeling well, we're not moving. A lot of people also get urinary tract infections. Our urine's really actually sterile. There's not supposed to be any bacteria, so when an infection occurs, bacteria usually migrate up the urethra into the bladder, and women seem to have more of these than men, and bladder infections sometimes can be fungal. So you want to make sure that you keep your area clean. Some people drink cranberry juice, and if you do, you may want to drink the unsweetened cranberry juice or get some encapsulated cranberry juice to help you. Several herbs are also helpful, like uva ursi, juniper berry, bushu as well. And if you have a severe infection, go to the doctor because you probably need an antibiotic. So inflammation can also occur. They call that like cystitis or interstitial cystitis, which is an inflammation of the bladder, urethritis, which is inflammation of the urethra, nephritis, which is inflammation of the kidneys. And inflammation can cause burning or scalding pain when you urinate, back pain, or give you a frequent urge to urinate. So some of the herbs that are very soothing are like corn silk, marshmallow, cleavers. Some people, easing the urgency, find aloe vera freeze-dried capsules to be very helpful. And then a lot of us as we age are going to get urinary incontinence, where we have our weakness of the bladder muscle, which can cause leakage. And you would want an astringent, something that's going to tighten and tone. And that again would be uva ursi or horsetail. So kidney stones also occur, and that's caused by precipitation of minerals in the urine, particularly calcium. And some people are genetically prone to them. I know my husband's had them, and after watching him with them, I don't really want any. I've known women that have had them and said they're worse than childbirth. So they can be extremely painful to pass. So you want to make sure that if you've had problems with that, that you're drinking the amount of water that you need, and you're not overeating urinary oxalate foods like peanuts, chocolate, and tea. And you want to avoid some caffeine and carbonated beverages. Many people have found taking magnesium and B6 is very helpful. And a lot of people have avoided calcium supplements during the time they have kidney stones. And again, drink plenty of water. Most men have trouble with prostatitis and BPH. In males, the prostate sits just under the bladder. And prostatitis is just basically inflammation of the prostate, causing it to swell. And when you have BPH, the prostate enlarges. So both of them constrict the urethra, making urination difficult for men. So a lot of remedies for this is like nettle root, saw palmetto, white sage, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids. And some people say that they eat dark chocolate every night because it's full of flavonoids and antioxidants, and it helps decrease their inflammation. Other people have sworn by pomegranate, and I've read some interesting literature on pomegranate. And then a lot of people get overall kidney weakness, which is a kidney qi deficiency in Chinese medicine. And some of those people will notice that they have trouble with their structural system, like arthritis or osteoporosis, lower back pain, weakness in their lower extremities. Maybe they turn prematurely gray. And these can be early warning signs that your kidney needs support. And kidney or renal failure is progressive kidney failure, which may not give you any symptoms in the initial stage, but symptoms can include weakness, lethargy, edema, anemia, fatigue, loss of appetite, and shortness of breath. And the body during this point becomes increasingly acidic, which can affect the heart, and medically treated with a dialysis or a transplant. So if you want to keep your urinary system strong and your kidneys strong, you want to eat a diet with lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, particularly celery, parsley, and other potassium-rich greens. You want to eliminate soda pop. You want to reduce your consumption of animal proteins. You want to avoid food additives and chemicals. And again, do my little asparagus recipe, cut it in 1-inch pieces, simmer in a gallon of water, and eat the asparagus and drink the water. There's also tonic herbs for the kidney like nettle seed, leaf, and root, parsley, morinda root, dandelion. And dandelion supports both the kidney and the liver, or Chinese water increasing formulas. So I hope you found that interesting. You can check out our newsletter. I'll put a link on this post, and I'll also put a link to the webinar I did on kidney health. So thanks, and we'll see you all next month, and have a happy Thanksgiving, enjoying time with your family and friends.